than not a lot of people think.
And welcome to another episode of Rankum. It's going to be a fun one. We're doing comedy movies from the 2000s, and there's a hell of a lot there. But I've got a great panel here. Over to the side, I've got Richard. Richard, how's it going?
I'm doing good. This is like my decade of my favorite comedies came from this decade, so I'm excited with everyone else's list. I have a good number size, and I'm just happy to be here.
And then further along, we've got Anthony. Anthony, how's it going?
It's going well. Looking forward to this. This should be fun. After going through all the comedies, I'm realizing there's a lot more than I expected. So this will be fun. I have no idea what's going to be picked here.
And moving around is Christina. Christina, how's it going?
Hi, guys. It's going well. I'm excited for tonight. I have my list. Some of this is straight garbage, but I love it. So I'm throwing it out there. And if people want to hate me in the chat, like, this is what it is, man. Come at me.
And then last but not least, we've got Chris. Chris, how's it going?
Pretty good. Happy to be on my first Rankum. This is probably one of my favorite decades now, looking back on it.
But yeah, how this works is we're going to go around the panel, and they're all going to nominate a movie that they think deserves to be on a top 12 list of comedies from the 2000s, and then at the end we do rank them. So yeah, and I'm going to start with Chris. Chris, what's the first movie you're going to bring up?
All right, and did they bring up anyway? I think one of the more funniest movie. The one I rewatched recently, my girlfriend heard about pretty well, Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy. It is one of the most funniest quotable movies of all time. Me and my friend have quoted endlessly to death. From sequel with the land comment to the big brawl to the end to some of the more random comments, the Cougar cologne to the football. Everything is so funny. And then the running gag with the head and his son situation going on, it hold up really well on repeat viewing, and a comedy that is introduced to part one more sequel everybody we knew today. And honestly, this and one other on my list of my two favorite real film movie all time.
Christina, what do you say about Anchorman?
I actually really don't like this movie. However, I'm going to say yes, only because I remember when this movie came out. I was in high school and everyone was quoting this. Everyone still quotes this movie. This movie was so loved that even though it's not my personal favorite, I know what it meant to society at the time. And I feel like people that are now in their 30s that are my age, that were 15 and 16 when this came out, still quote this movie. One of my favorite beers is named after this movie. So I'm gonna say yes, even though personally, if I never see this movie again, I will be totally fine with that.
Anthony, what do you say about Anchorman?
I actually do enjoy this. I do enjoy this movie. I think it was great. It was right on the edge of my 12, but some of my 12 was definitely personal preference. But like Christina just said, it was this phenomenon when it came out. It had quotes galore, all the certain scenes, the fight scene where they just had cameo after cameo after cameo of great people. Paul Rudd, Steve Carell were great in it, almost a secondary character in the movie as much as Will Ferrell. So I think it needs to be on the top 12 for 2000. If anyone in the comments says anything against that, they clearly do not watch a lot of 2000 comics, because Anchorman is a good movie, and it was just a whole new thing in the 2000s.
And with that, Anchorman does make the list. Richard, what would you have said?
This is my second favorite Will Ferrell movie, and Milk was a bad choice, so absolutely it would have been a yes. It's on my list for a reason.
Yeah, I would have been in a glass case of emotion if this didn't make the list.
See, still quoting.
But yeah, I love this movie. So yeah, it would have been easy. And also, Brian does bring up in the chat the fight at the end is just incredible for all those cameos.
Final Blend is the name of the beer.
I went.
But Christina, we go back to you for your first nomination.
Okay. This is my all-time favorite comedy. Like, of all time, I will watch this anytime it's on. I will watch it just because I want to. It cracks me up every single time. I remember seeing this in the theater, and after Jonah Hill utters his line of "You scratch," or Emma Stone says, "You scratch our back, I'll scratch our. You scratch our back, we'll scratch yours," and he says, "Funny thing about my back is it's located on my cock." The theater erupts, and like I didn't know the next like 2 minutes of dialogue until it came out on DVD and I could watch it again. So my nomination is Superbad. It's so great. Seth Rogen and Bill Hader are phenomenal cops. They almost steal the movie with how funny they are. And it's so good. And hello, McLovin. My dad, who is an almost 60-year-old man, will walk around and be like, no, that dude looks like McLovin. Like, he's obsessed. Superbad is one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. This has to go on the list.
Anthony, what do you say about Superbad?
I'm not just saying this because my wife just said it. I actually do love this movie. It's a great movie, and it is easily one of the best movies of the 2000s. Again, very quotable, maybe not as quotable as Anchorman, but as a movie, a better movie than Anchorman. I think Superbad absolutely needs to go on there. Even though as many times as I watch it, I still don't know what decade it's supposed to be based in. But it's a fantastic movie. Definitely needs to be on there. Yeah, you gotta have Superbad.
Richard, what do you say about Superbad?
This, I look like Devin, got tormented, but this is a fantastic movie. It gave Christopher Mintz-Plasse his start. I mean, there's so many memorable actors and actresses in this movie. It's fantastic. It's hysterical. It's an absolute yes for me.
Me, I would have said no. I'm not a big fan of Superbad. I've tried people have told me I need to rewatch it. I've rewatched it many times. I just don't enjoy it. I remember liking it when I first saw it, but then the more times I rewatched it, the less it got funny. So yeah, I would have said
like that.
But Chris, what would you have said about Superbad?
I love it. It made my top 12. I think it's one of the more funniest movies. And what introduced that to Emma Stone to a lot of people was Superbad. And the cast is great. Jonah Hill, Michael Cera, one of his most funniest roles. And like the McLovin scene is so funny. Seth Rogen and Bill Hader are great. Actually, I forget, it also introduced some people to Bill Hader as well, like how funny he is. It's just a funny movie from start to finish. I haven't seen it in a while, so I need to go back and rewatch it, but I loved it the last time I've seen it.
But okay, Anthony, we go to you for your first nomination.
You know, I had two. I was going to do first, and this one, Malcolm, this one's for you because I'm going to go with a movie that you don't like. I know this for a fact because we've talked about this. It has Robert Downey Jr. in it. It has Jack Black in it. You know what I'm talking about. It's Tropic Thunder. Tropic Thunder was absolutely hilarious. I know I'm not getting a vote from you, but that's okay because I'm still going to throw it out there. This is one of my favorite movies of all time. The first time I watched it, I laughed hysterically. I had to rewatch it to catch some of the jokes. Everybody is great in this movie. You got Tom Cruise as Les Grossman was fantastic as the little cameo part. Matthew McConaughey just has his little role that's fantastic. Everything about this movie was hilarious, and they had good action in it on occasion. It just all the actors in it, all the ways they do it, all the one-liners, all the comedy, they're so quotable. Tropic Thunder is one of my favorite movies of the 2000s. One of my favorite movies ever. I can rewatch it every day and still laugh hysterically about it. So I'm going to put Tropic Thunder on the list and see how this goes.
Richard, what do you say about Tropic Thunder?
What do you mean, you people? What do you mean, you people? I love this movie. It's going to be a yes for me. I mean, like Anthony said, the cast is fantastic. And just the Tom Cruise's performance in this movie is like it came out of nowhere. Like, this is the same dude who did Jerry Maguire, the Mission Impossible movies, and playing this type of character that I would never expect Tom Cruise to play. This is something I would have seen like a scary movie to do, but it was so funny, so classic. It has to be a yes for me.
I'm going to keep my vote in suspense. Chris, what do you say about Tropic Thunder?
Yeah, it made my list. one of my favorite comedy. I don't break characters until the DVD commentary. Like I just love Tropic Thunder. It's funny. T. Coogan also really funny in the movie, and I believe it. Noting it, the veteran that they have in the film, and someone correct me, he also great. But it's funny to start to finish. One of Robert Downey Jr. most funniest role. Same with Jack Black, Temple Jack, and also the off-word thing about me a little bit. I love the rest of the film. I think it hold up really well. I got back to rewatch a bunch of times. Tom Cruise, everybody say. It's one of the biggest surprises of the movie, and his dance at the credits is one of the most funniest dance I've seen in any movie.
Christina, what would you have said about Tropic Thunder?
It's a yes for me. Robert Downey gets an Oscar nomination for it. I mean, what else do you need for this? And then, I'm married to him, so I have to say yes.
You don't have to say yes. I say no to some of your picks. I promise you that.
Well, this one's actually good. I'll say no to some of your other ones. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's no secret I don't like Tropic Thunder. I would have said yes. I think it's a fine movie. Well, yes, I don't think it's in the top 12 of Robert Downey Jr. movies. I think it does belong on top 12 comedy movies of the 2000s.
Call me by surprise, Malcolm. Call me by surprise there.
It's what I do. Richard, what is your first nomination?
My first nomination is probably not going to get yes, but I have to say because it was one of my favorite movies in their time. Because I saw this movie a week or two before I went to boot camp for the Navy. And basically, you know it from the song, America! Fuck yeah! Team America World Police, Prayers to South Park. The fact that it's all puppets, you really don't get bothered the fact it's all puppets. It's rude, it's crude, but it's absolutely freaking hysterical. All the songs in these movies are so quotable, so memorization, and I just absolutely love this movie. So my first nomination is Team America World Police. It's not gonna get yes, but I love it.
No, that's it. No, Chris, what do you say about Team America World Police?
I have to say no because I have not seen it yet and on my list to watch. I just never got around to watching it. I know I've seen the scene in the movie. It's funny from what I've seen, so I can't really put much saying this because I have not seen it yet.
It's fine.
Christina, what do you say about Team America?
I actually also haven't seen this movie, but I will throw it out there that when I graduated from college, that was our theme for our bar tour that we went on. And we played the YouTube song of it. And I remember Fake Lips or something being part of the song. So I kind of have a small reference of what you're talking about, but I've never seen the movie, so I feel like I can't vote.
It's fine.
Sorry.
And Anthony, what would you have said?
I probably only would have said no because I have a lot of other ones on here that I think are better in that time frame. But I do really like this movie. I love the South Park creators did it. It is crude. It's very interesting how they did it with all the puppets. It's something that you've never seen before as a comedy. Like you said, the songs are great. It's a really funny movie. It's very quotable. But just in this decade, as a top 12, probably not. Top 20, I would put it in the top 20. I just didn't know they went into the top 12. But I like the pick. I love the movie. It's great.
Yeah, now I feel like I should watch it. I'm going to write it down.
Yeah.
I have it.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to go for this one as my first one. I do not know how this is going to go. This is another movie that is super quotable and that may be overly quoted these days. Or not so much, but it was really quoted a lot when it first came out. I'm talking about Borat. This is a movie in which I saw the trailer. I had no idea what it was going to be like. I found this really funny, and I go back to watch it every now and then. I love it so much. This is one that when it first came out, everyone was going, very nice, sexy time, literally all the time. Nowadays, you don't hear it as much, but I think it is a great movie, and I think it belongs here. Chris, what do you say about Borat?
It is a good movie, not a great movie. I do have to say no. I'm not the biggest Borat fan. I like Sacha Baron Cohen and a bunch of other stuff more. Especially in the decade, I like him better than Sweeney Todd and a few other stuff. I don't know. I think Borat is funny, but not like my top 12 funniest movie I've seen in this decade that would make my list. So my answer, no, sadly.
Christina, what do you say about Borat?
Malcolm, I think you gave me some PTSD with all those quotes of like being in college and like at the parties and everything. No, I'm going to say no. I never really liked this movie. I thought the character was so annoying. I couldn't get down with it. So I would just say no.
Anthony, what do you say about Borat?
Yeah, this was one of those that you're saying might be a little like it's just overdone. And like the first time I watched it, I was like, okay, I kind of see what people are saying. It's different. It's the shock value kind of thing going on. Then I watched it again. I was like, oh wait, this is really annoying. And then I watched it a third time. Like, I could never watch this again in my life and be perfectly happy. It was great for the time, and it really was something completely new. But I can't get down with that.
Richard, what would you have said about Borat?
I would have said no because Sacha Baron Cohen is my least favorite actor. I find him extremely annoying. Like the only movie I can tolerate him is Talladega Nights, but even then it gets kind of cringeworthy at times.
Which comes back to Chris. What is your next nomination?
Okay, you know what? I do throw out a wild card here. I know I might get shot down on this, and it's kind of one of my personal favorite, and it's from Disney, Enchanted. With Amy Adams, Patrick Dempsey, Jane Watson, Timothy Spall, Idina Menzel. It's one of the most funniest, like, making fun of Disney movie there is. Jane Watson is hysterical at the prince. The scene alone when he's going to apartment looking for Amy Adams and the people that show up is some more funny adult humor for Disney. But also, Amy Adams get introduced to a lot of people. There are a lot of really funny jokes at Disney and, the Disney princesses. The scene alone when she clean up the apartment scene and you get rat, pigeon, and little mice coming in to clean up, and it's a little creepy. Disney is so funny. It's a funny movie, and the musical number is hysterical. Like, how do you know? The cleaning sound is very funny. It's sweet, it's funny. It's one of the rare movies that not a lot of people think, so I just wanted to show it in here. One of my favorite comedy of that decade.
Christina, what do you say about Enchanted?
This movie's super cute. I enjoy this movie, and it's just another one of the long list of movies where James Marsden doesn't end up with the girl. Do it. As far as top 12 comedies go, I would think would be more of like a family film. So I wouldn't put this in my top 12, so I would say no for this, but it is like a really, really fun, super cute movie.
And Anthony, what do you say about Enchanted?
I kind of agree with that. It's just, I never really described it as a comedy. When I kind of said 2000 comedies, I kind of went in my mind, just generic, like really comedy movies. Like it's kind of more of a family film. It's a good family film. It's a very good family film. But as a comedy, I don't know if it would match up with some of the other ones that were in the decade for it. But it's a good movie. There's no doubt about that.
Richard, what would you say about that?
It's the same with Anthony and Christine. It's a very fun film, family film. It's very beautiful. Like, there is comedy. It's very subtle comedy. But I just don't think it's the top 12 best comedies of the decade. But it's a very good film. I do enjoy Enchanted.
I actually haven't seen Enchanted. It's on my list to watch, but but it's also one that, like, when I was doing the comedy list, like, I went through Wikipedia and looked at some just to make sure there wasn't any that I needed to see. Enchanted was there, but it's also one that from the trailers I didn't really see it as a comedy per se. I thought it was more of a musical, so I thought, I'm not going to watch that, but I could be watching other ones I've never seen that could make the list. So. But Christina, what is your next nomination?
Okay, this movie came out in 2005. And it was the very first R-rated movie that I saw in theaters once I was like 17 and I could go without like a parent's supervision. And this is my second favorite comedy of all time. And it's for you all motorboating sons of bitches. And that's going to be Wedding Crashers. Because this movie is hilarious. And I can watch this over and over and over and over and over again. I don't know what else to say. It's just so great and I love it.
Anthony, what do you say about Wedding Crashers?
I mean, I know her list, and she just picked like the top two that I knew was going to happen. I can't say no to Wedding Crashers. Wedding Crashers was great. It was a hilarious movie. To this day, people at work, when they're bored, will still throw it on the TV, and everyone is engrossed in the movie. No matter how many times you've seen it, it's hilarious. The painting was a gift, Todd. I'm keeping the painting. I'm keeping Wedding Crashers in the top 12. It's a great movie. It's funny. It's cute. It's got everything you really want in a movie.
Richard, what do you say about Wedding Crashers?
I really like Wedding Crashers. If this was a top 10, I would say no. But since it's a top 12, I'm saying yes. Because there are better Vince Vaughn comedies and there are better Owen Wilson comedies. But this is still a solid choice. And I'm saying yes. There's a lot of funny moments in this.
Yeah, I mean, I think Wedding Crashers is fine. To me, I'm still saying yes to it. It's kind of in the same vein of Tropic Thunder movie. I did love when it first came out, but the more times I kind of watched it, it's kind of lost its appeal a little bit for me. But I do think the comedy elements work, and it's fine. And just going through the list of movies that come out in the 2000s has made me realise how much Will Ferrell and / Vince Vaughn could make this list. Chris, what would you have said about Wedding Crashers?
Yeah, I'd say the bedroom scene alone when Vince Vaughn gets tied up as a fish with her showing up and the creepy son showing up. It's such a funny thing. The scene with the priest, it made Bradley Cooper such an unlikable douchebag in the freaking film. And Christopher Walken funny, makes him mad. The whole cast is funny. Will Ferrell as the guy who crashed funeral is a funny gag in the film. I mean, yeah.
Anthony, we go back to you.
All right. I'll go with one that may or may not make this list, but I really like it. I think it's very funny. It's pretty dumb, but when it came out, it might not have been as necessary as it is today, because this movie personifies the world right now, and that movie is Idiocracy. That, if you watch Idiocracy today, you kind of look at it and go, "Ew, this is scary," because it's kind of looking like we're moving that direction. It's Terry Crews as the president is hilarious. Basically, someone that was a wrestler now becomes a president. Luke Wilson does a great job as just the generic, hey, I'm just the regular guy, but now he's the smartest guy in the world because everyone is just dumber. Dax Shepard plays a great idiot. The movie itself, I understand, like, if you haven't seen it, you should watch it right now because it is. I made Christina watch this the other day, and she's like, well, this is horrifying, actually, because this is becoming really true right now. But the movie itself is very funny if you can deal with a little bit of kind of just gross out humor and just stupid humor. But overall, I think Idiocracy at least needs to be said, just due to the simple fact of what's going on and with the world now and how it kind of relates. But I'm going to throw Idiocracy on the list as my kind of shot in the dark.
Well, as Sam Levine said in the Schmodown once, we're living in it now. Richard, what do you say about Idiocracy?
I love Idiocracy so much, and it is very getting close to the present time. However, I mean, there are other so funny comedies of this decade, and I love Idiocracy. I kind of wish this would have been said towards the end of our choices, because I'm afraid if I say yes to this movie, some other comedy movies might not get on this list that I think are better than Idiocracy. So for now, I'm saying no, but I love Idiocracy because Electrolytes, it's what you crave. So it's a no for me, just because it's too early, I think.
Yeah, I love Idiocracy. I think it is a good movie. I'm going to have to say no to this as well, just because I think it just is out of the top 12 for me. It is a good movie. I just don't think it's top 12. Chris, what do you say about Idiocracy?
I kind of had to say no because I never seen this movie. It just escaped me, and I seen bits and pieces here and there. I just never got down to see the whole thing.
Christina, what would you have had?
Oh no, this movie is terrible. People in the comments are like, I need to see this movie. You do not need to see it. You are not missing out. Your life will actually be better for not have seen this movie.
Either that or it makes you think about what's happening to the world today.
And you only need to watch the first 10 minutes where they explain it, and then you stop watching the rest of the movie because then it's just bad. This is a hard no.
Oh, way to be mean about it.
Oh, I can be mean. You're the only one I can be mean to.
Yeah, I know.
Richard, what is the next movie you're going to bring up?
This is I'm picking a movie this movie is super funny, and it spawned 2 other movies, but this is my favorite one out of the trilogy. It has extremely great sense of humor, and it kind of reamped NPH's career a little bit. And it is called Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
Oh,
John Cho, Cal Penn, they're great chemistry together. They're so funny in this. Just their journey trying to get to White Castle is hysterical. You have a great cast. And the whole bathroom scene with "You want to play battleships" was just like, it was pretty funny for me. So that's gonna be my nomination. Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. I think it's the best one out of the trilogy.
Yeah, I love this movie. I think it is hilarious. And I'm going to say yes to this. Chris, what do you say about Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle?
God, I am struggling here because it's a really good movie, and Neil Patrick Harris is hysterical in it. Would I put it in my top 12? I'm gonna have to say no, and not in my top 12 of favorite comedy. I think there are a couple more that are funny and more quotable than it. But I know I'm probably be the only one here that they say no. But it's a really good movie, and I actually like the sequel a lot too. Hangover Bay. But
Christina, what do you say about Harold and Kumar?
I haven't seen this movie, so I don't feel comfortable voting on this one. So it's up to you, Anthony.
Oh, great. Man, this was one of those where I think you just said it, the last one. I wish this would have been said a little bit later, because I feel like there's a lot of movies in here that I like more than Harold and Kumar. Like, again, top 15, top 20, absolutely in it. Top 12, there's just a few others that I thought were overall better as movies. Was Harold and Kumar hilarious? Absolutely. I enjoyed both of the sequels too. Surprisingly, the Christmas one I thought was even better than the second one. I like the third. Man, why you gotta make me think about this so hard? This is tough. Just due to the simple fact, I feel like I have more on here that I liked more during this decade. I'm gonna say no, but I really liked the movie, and it's the same thing you said with Idiocracy. If it was said a little bit later on, and I know some of these other ones might have been knocked out somehow, I probably would have said yes to it. But it's right on that edge.
Right. It's back to me.
Going so well at first, and then now he's hit a wall.
And I mean, this is the way I've kind of felt this one was going to go too. It was like, but the 2010s one was a painful because that was going all over the place just as much. But there's at least 2 I want to bring up now. One I'm pretty sure will come up later. One I don't know if it will. I'll bring up this one because this is another one from a trilogy that I like. And this is probably my favorite one. And here, and I'm bringing up Shaun of the Dead. Shaun of the Dead is a great movie. And I believe it's what put Simon Pegg on the map, where people kind of realised who he was and all that, because with a lot of the British movies don't translate over to America really well, so they do sometimes get lost in the shuffle. But this is great. I mean, just everything they do, from the reciting the plans and all the hat. Grab Pete's car, we'll go to the Winchester, all that jazz. Just entertaining. The fight scene in the bar of "Don't Stop Me Now." It's on repeat. It's just all great moments. Chris, what do you say about Shaun of the Dead?
I'm struggling here because the two of this trilogy appear on my list of favorite comedy of this, and both. Which one do I like more between the two of them? And I showed the other one to be up a little bit later. This is why I. But it's a really funny movie. I love Shaun of the Dead. I love Ben Nye in it. I love the cast. Like, it's fun. It's one of my favorite zombie movies of all time. I had to say yes, even though I might have liked the one after this a little bit more than.
I mean, there's no reason both of them can't make the list. Christina, what do you say about Shaun of the Dead?
I haven't really seen this movie, and I don't really like zombies. Mostly because I'm just like a giant wuss, and all that stuff kind of creeps me out. So I don't watch that stuff. So I'm gonna say no, but I already know he's gonna say yes, so we're fine.
Anthony, what do you say about Shaun of the
She's
Dead?
100% correct. I will definitely say yes to this movie. I love this movie. I love all the trilogy. I love pretty much everything Edgar Wright does. Like, most of the people will be like, "Oh, it's Edgar Wright." But it's a great movie. It's creative. It's funny. I mean, the fact that they do so many things in the beginning of the movie that now sync up to the end of the movie. They tell you the whole plot in one scene, and then the whole plot happens that way. They do the game in the beginning, and then they say the exact same thing as he's actually shooting zombies at the end. It's a brilliantly done movie. Like you said, the Don't Stop Me Now scene is one of the best music fight scenes I've seen, other than Baby Driver, probably. But it's great. It's well done. It's funny. Shaun of the Dead 100% goes on my list.
Richard, what would you have said about Shaun of the Dead?
This would have been really hard for me because it's either between Shaun of the Dead or Hot Fuzz. They're both super funny
We're
movies.
struggling the same thing.
Yeah, and honestly, both of them should not be on the list. It should be one or the other. That's why I was tossing myself between Shaun of the Dead. I probably would have said yes because Shaun of the Dead started it, and it is such a clever movie. So I would have probably said yes. I would sacrifice Hot Fuzz for that reason.
But Chris, we go back to you. What is your next nomination?
Okay, this is pretty high on my list. This is, like I was saying with Anchorman earlier, my other favorite Will Ferrell movie, and it's also very quotable. It's very classic in the time it came out. Elf. Elf is such a funny, quotable movie. Very funny. Joey J. Chanel and Will Ferrell are great. Bob Newhart really good in it. Like, the whole cast is just funny and straight to dot. The scene when he sent his father to repair the women lingerie to the office, or when Peter Dinklage showed up, he confused him for Elf. And the scene alone when he confronted Mom Santa, he said, you're sitting on the throne of lies. It's such a funny movie. It's very quotable. It's very funny. One of my favorite Christmas movies we watch all the time, and it's one of the most funniest movies of the decade. I always go back and forth between that and Anchorman for my favorite Will Ferrell movie from that decade.
Christina, what do you say about Elf?
I really don't like this movie at all. I think it's just played a lot at Christmas time, and I have like my own separate, like, these are my Christmas movies that I love to watch. So I like try to avoid Elf. I also teach like middle school kids, so like all they want to do is quote Elf, and it like drives me nuts. But again, I would think this would be more of like a Christmas movie or like family movie. When I'm thinking comedies, I just think are like a little like rated PG-13 like raunchier genre. So I'm gonna go with no as far as a comedy, but as far as like a family film Christmas movie, I know most people like it, but I'm gonna say no for a comedy.
Anthony, what do you say about Elf?
I'm with her, and it's not just because I know her. It's because the first time I saw this movie, I was like, "Oh, that's a cute movie. It's pretty good. It has some moments that are funny." And then I watched it a second time, and I was like, "Man, I understand he's supposed to ham it up as much as possible. He's super excitable, and he's supposed to be the elf." But you just watching, I was just like, "Man, he is just taking this to another level that I can't handle." And it's just a lot. Like, Zoe Deschanel does a great job in it, and she's great. But as a movie in general, there's even more Christmas comedies that I would prefer over Elf. I mean, obviously the best Christmas movie is Die Hard, but it's not a comedy. But other than that, I would have to say no to Elf. I'll leave it up to the next two to see if they want it in. It's a good movie, but it's definitely not one of mine.
Also, Die Hard's not a 2000s movie, so
Well,
there's that.
I'm not going
I know what you mean. Richard, what would you have said about? What do you say about Elf?
I like Elf fine. It's not my favorite Will Ferrell movie. I don't really consider it a comedy. Haha, it's more of a Christmas film. I would say no. I mean, I enjoy it, but the jokes get kind of old and stale fast in this film.
Yeah, pretty much what everyone else said. Elf is more of a Christmas movie than a comedy. Yes, it does have its funny moments. It's great. There are a lot better Will Ferrell movies in the 2000s, as well as comedies. So, yeah. Christina, what is the next movie you're going to bring up?
I'm trying to decide if I want to say one that like I think people are gonna like, or if I want to just like go totally like off wall and like maybe people will reject it, but like it's a guilty pleasure of my life, and I think I'm gonna lean towards guilty pleasure. And I don't know if anybody else thinks this movie is good except for me, but it's so funny, and every time it's on, I love this movie so much. It is early 2000s. And I'm going to dedicate this one to my one and only someone. And this movie is Saving Silverman. And
I thought you were going somewhere different. That's great.
Yeah, I thought you would do something different.
It's so bad. But it's so good and so funny. And I just love it because Jason Biggs is going to marry Amanda Pete, right? Is who it is. Yeah. And then his two best friends kidnap her and she's like crazy and like beats them up. And then he like meets his old girlfriend who's going to be a nun. And then they're like in a Neil Diamond band and Neil Diamond cameos. It's awesome. This movie is really funny. I don't think I'm going to get any yeses, but I had to throw it out there for some love. Okay.
Anthony, what do you say about Saving Silverman?
I 100% saw you going a different direction with that, and I would have said the other one. But this movie is hilarious. This is such a guilty pleasure. I love this movie. Every time I hear "Coming here," yes, I just love myself a little inside. It's great. It's hilarious. Jack Black, Steve Zahn are fantastic as just friends in this movie. You even get Arlie Emery to come in and just be the teacher, be the old gym teacher. Everything. This movie is, as many people may not like it, it's hilarious. And give it another shot if you've seen it once and didn't like it, or you haven't seen it. I absolutely love this movie. It was definitely on my list. I can watch this movie every day and be perfectly happy, like Tropic Thunder. I think this movie is great. I say yeah.
Oh, really? I thought you were going to say no to this.
No, that was definitely on my list.
Richard, what do you say about Saving Silverman?
I like it okay. I'm going to say no, though, just because I feel like this movie gets blended in with so many other movies that are very similar. Like Jason Biggs' movies are very similar.
Well, yeah,
the problem is, like, for me, it's not really quotable, and I don't really remember the movie too much. I've seen it a couple times, but I feel like it gets blended in with his other movies. So I'm just going to have to say no, just for the memorability factor.
Yeah, I had to Google this just to be sure if I've seen it or not. I found that I actually have seen it because it was over here. It was titled "Evil Woman." I have seen it. I love this movie. It's a yes. It makes the list. Chris, what would you have said?
I had not seen this. I heard of it, just never got around to watching it.
Highly recommend. It's
we know what our number 12 is going to be. I'm kidding.
Yeah, but like I didn't think it was going to work.
This is only one out of one be pissed if I haven't seen. So
love this movie. I watched it way too much in college.
Yeah, this is a lot in high school. This is a big watch.
I can't. Richard, no, Anthony, what is your next movie you're going to bring up?
All right. If that didn't make it, I had a different plan, but it did. So I'm going to go with option B here. I'm going to go with a movie that this one might not make it, but I think for the type of movie it is, it absolutely changed. It spawned like 4 to 18 sequels of random crap. But this movie was the start. This movie was fantastic, and it brought Anna Faris kind of to the front. Scary Movie, I thought, was hilarious. It did such a good job. I see a little bit of disagreement here, which is okay. That's why I knew this one might not make it. But thinking about Scary Movie in the time, it brought all of the teen horror flicks and did a great job of making fun of them perfectly. Yes, it was raunchy. Yes, it had some dumb parts. But overall, it did a great job of making Scream, making I Know What You Did Last Summer, just a few horror flicks, just making fun of all the random stuff. Oh, this girl's going to run around in her high heels to try to escape the killer. Well, that's not going to work. She's going to break her ankle. She's probably going to die. All of it, I just enjoyed the movie. I think it was great. The Wayans brothers did an awesome job in it. They were hilarious. I'm going to throw Scary Movie. All the rest were trash. But the first Scary Movie, I think, has some merit to it. So I'm going to throw that in there.
Richard, what do you say about Scary Movie?
Oh,
yeah, I didn't see this.
That's a tough one. Again, I'm bringing it back up if this was chosen later on towards the list. I'm going to say no because I actually like Scary Movie 2 better than the first Scary Movie.
2 is good.
I like 3 a little bit better.
So I'm going to say no because I feel like the second one was better than the first.
Yeah, this one was one that I definitely had a things like I loved both the first two. I mean, also I love the others for different reasons, but yeah, I say to myself, whichever one comes up first, I'm going to say yes to. So I'm going to say yes to Scary Movie. Chris, what do you say about Scary Movie?
I gotta be no here. I think that 2000 were a very bad decade for parody movies. And this was one. I actually like the third one just for Leslie Nielsen more than all of them. But they just. I think Scream did it better. I think they do not hold up well, any of them. So it was a bad decade for parody movie.
I mean,
you're not counting Tropic Thunder. It was a little bit of parody of making fun of war movies. It was pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's. I mean, out of the parody movies we got in the 2000s, the Scary Movie franchise is probably the better of the bunch. That isn't saying much, but Christina, you're the deciding vote on this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go no.
Yeah,
I'm not even gonna try and build it up. I'm not. I don't. To me, I feel like the pure comedies are better than the parody ones, where like your jokes are basically just making fun of other stuff and like just being completely outrageous. So yeah, this is a no for me. I think there's so many just like better pure comedies that we can go with.
But Richard, what is the next movie you're going to bring up?
All right, I'm going to choose my favorite of the Broken Lizard movies, and I'm choosing Super Troopers. I think this movie is just hysterical. The cast, obviously, they work together multiple movies. They have great chemistry together. I love Farva. He's one of my favorite characters. And, there's so much shenanigans in this movie. Farva, say shenanigans one more time. So Super Troopers will be my nomination. It's a great cast.
Yeah, it's a no. I don't like this. Chris, what do you say about Super Troopers?
No. What? I haven't even seen it, and the stuff I've seen from Cliff Farm I do not like at all.
Christina, what do you say about Super Troopers?
I'm gonna get in trouble. I know Anthony has this.
You won't get in trouble. It's fine. Do your thing.
I know, but like I feel bad. I haven't seen this movie. Oh, and I feel like I've said that way too many times today, but I really swear I have a list of a bunch of comedies. I swear I watch movies. So I don't know enough about it. I'm sorry.
Anthony, what would you have said about Super Troopers?
Right now, I would have 100% said yes. It was definitely on my list. I was between that and
Beer
Scary
Fest.
Movie, which one I was going to say. I love Super Troopers was hilarious. And the best part, it was a great cast, but it wasn't a cast anyone really knew other than Brian Cox. It was just people. Like Jim Gaffigan did a quick thing, but it was this company. The only movie they did beforehand was Puddle Cruiser that no one ever heard of. Super Troopers I thought was hilarious. I had it on my list. I'm a little sad that it didn't make it on the list because this was absolutely one of my favorite movies, but I'm glad you said it. I mean, like everyone said, it's quotable, but yeah, if you don't like it, you don't like it. That's how this works. But
Yeah. For my next pick, I'm going to go for one that's recently had a bit of a resurgence in the past few years via some TV shows on Netflix. I'm bringing up Wet Hot American Summer. I love this movie, and like this is where Amy Poehler, Paul Rudd, and a whole lot of really good big comedy actors kind of got their start, and this is kind of the first time you ever see them. I know this. There's a lot of mixed feelings around this, and I love the TV series when they revisited it again. But yeah, this movie is just so much fun. And talking can of soup, sign me up now. Chris, what do you say about Red Hot American Summer?
This is tough. I ain't seen bits and pieces of the movie. I'm more familiar with the show. I kind of have to say no because there's one Paul Rudd movie that is on my list. I think it's funnier than this. Like, and a good movie. I like the show a little bit better, honestly, between the two.
Christina, what do you say about Red Hot American Summer?
I feel like this one's such like a cult like following. I'm kind of with Chris on this one. I feel like I was more into I watched the show for a little bit and didn't really like click, so I wasn't super into the movie. But it I feel like the redeeming quality is that it's like all of these people's careers took off. So I'm gonna say no, but I'll pass it off.
Now, I'm with you on this one. I love this movie. The movie was hilarious. It took me a long time for me to see it. I think I couldn't find it for a while, and then I finally watched it. I think it was when all the Netflix shows started coming out. I was like, no, let me watch this movie. It's hilarious, and the cast is next level. Great. Just everybody you can possibly imagine the cast was in it. The shows are great too, especially when they do the pre-show and everyone's still 20 years older than they were in the movie. I thought that was hilarious. But the movie itself is funny. I think it's great. I'll say yes to Wet Hot American Summer. I did have that kind of on the edge of my list, but I definitely enjoy that movie.
And also, before someone else does say it in the chat, because I know someone's bad to say it, yes, Sam Levine is in this movie too. Richard, what do you say about Red Hot American Summer?
Unfortunately, I have not seen the movie or the TV show, so I have to say no for that reason because I haven't seen it.
That's fair. That's fair. Chris,
you give it a shot.
Okay,
Chris, what is your next nomination?
I am surprised this haven't came up yet. They came out to the end of the decade. I think it is a funny movie. It's very funny, very quotable. Great cast. One of the top fella best directing movie. It's a Hangover. At home, Bradley Cooper, Zach and an actor. It's funny. It's very funny. The Mike Tyson cameo is hysterical. The photos at the end are great. The police station sequence where they get interrogated with the taser being taught in class is freaking funny. It doesn't hold up too well on Prime Watch, but the quotability, the musical number about what they try to do when they take a little tiger nap is so catchy and quotable. Especially they make fun of a Catwoman is hysterical in film. It's just it's fun. It's one of my favorite at the end of the decade. I read the sequel did come out, but still love the first movie overall. And I think it's definitely one of the more quotable movies of the decade.
Christina, what do you say about The Hangover?
I love this movie. This is definitely a yes for me. I thought it was so funny. I feel like this is where Bradley Cooper really took off. Yeah, it was a fun movie. I would watch it anytime it's on, so this is a yes for me.
Anthony, what do you say about The Hangover?
100% a yes. It was definitely on my list. I was just throwing out the ones I thought, maybe people say yes or no. This was one of the ones I had a feeling everyone was going to probably say yes to. Movie's hilarious. It brought Ken Jeong out of, being an actual doctor, doing real things, to being a guy that's naked running around from a trunk. So, but the movie itself is hilarious. I love this movie. I can rewatch this all the time. I'm sad they made a second one. The third one is underrated, but it's a great movie and definitely needs to be on the list.
Richard, what would you have said about The Hangover?
I actually would have said no. I love the movie, but it's not rewatchable at all. It's not. You can't rewatch this over and over again. No, I'm trying to pick movies that I can watch over and over again, still be funny. And I just think, it's a good movie, but Zach Galifianakis' character does get extremely annoying throughout this film. But that's just my taste, my opinion.
I wouldn't be surprised if Ken Jeong's role in The Hangover is what inspired them to cast him for Community, because I'm not sure whether the TV series Community came after they both sort of. Community started in 2009, this came out in 2009, but I don't know whereabouts in the year the casting kind of came about. But I would have suggested The Hangover. I like this, and I don't know what you're talking about. There isn't any sequels. It's just 2 remakes in different areas of the world. But Christina, we go back to you for your next nomination.
Okay. This was another one I watched a lot when I was in college. I feel like this was like high school and college for me, so I'm just throwing it back to when I was sad and depressed and always just watched funny movies. So this one has a great cameo appearance by the Hulk himself, Lou Ferrigno, and starring a nice bromance comedy between Jason Segel and Paul Rudd. This movie is so uncomfortable and so awkward, but I think it's so funny. And everybody knows how to slap the bass now, so we're going to go with I Love You, Man for my
Yes.
Anthony, what do you say about I Love You, Man?
Originally, it was not my top 12, but due to the fact a lot of my top 12 is now off the board, this was definitely right outside of it. I love this movie. I think it's hilarious. All the characters are great. All the people that he winds up having in the wedding party do a great job of just being part of it, in the small roles. The movie was hilarious. The first time you watched it, you're like, it was kind of like, oh, this is going to be eh. And then I was like, this is hilarious. This is a great movie. It is rewatchable. It is fun. I absolutely think that this movie needs to be in the top 12. I Love You, Man was hilarious.
Richard, what do you say about I Love You, Man?
I love it. It's a good choice. Good movie. I'll say yes.
Oh, thanks.
I Love You, Man is making the list. I would have said no. I think there's a better Jason Segel comedy in the 2000s. I think there's also a better Paul Rudd movie, but yeah. Also, I've not seen this movie too. So Chris, what would you have said about I Love You, Man?
Now I realized it came out this year. Yes, this is probably my second favorite Paul Rudd movie. Another one to appear probably ever get to it. But I love You, Man. I love your filming. I love Jason Segel. Also, Jason Segel to appear later on my list. But I love this movie, Dev. It's such a movie that not a lot of people have seen, sadly. That should be seen.
And we do have 4 spots left. Anthony, can you fill up one of them?
I don't know. I'm gonna keep going with my method of going with the ones on the edge of my list instead of the obvious ones, which I only have one left of. But this movie, I think, is great. It's not just a funny movie that has Jack Black, but it's just a really well done, good, kind of family-ish movie with great music. And it is School of Rock. School of Rock is a fantastic overall movie. Jack Black does a great job. He can play the guitar. He does a great job with the kids. The back and forth with them is fantastic. I think that School of Rock is just not just a great comedy of the 2000s. It's just one of the really good set of movies of the 2000s overall. So I'm going to throw School of Rock into that list. At least he's in the cast.
Richard, what do you say about School of Rock?
Oh, that's so hard. I wasn't even thinking of School of Rock. I mean, like, I enjoy it. Honestly, it's kind of weird. I feel like this is more of a family film than it is a real comedy. There's more heart to this than actual laughter. So I'm actually going to say no, just because I don't really consider it now a comedy movie. I mean, I know it is, and there are moments I laugh. I don't think it's the top 12 comedy movies of the time.
Yeah, I've seen the sort of, I think a few other lists where this has come up, but I'm not a big fan of School of Rock. I think it's fine, and I'm actually with Richard on this. I'd say it more as a family movie than a comedy now because I really don't laugh at it. There was funny moments, but it's just one of those ones in which the heart overtakes the comedy as well.
Sure.
And I like it a little bit less than Tropic Thunder, so it's sad as well. It's a no for me for School of Rock.
It was amazing, and that's why I said it first.
Chris, what do you say about School of Rock?
I like picking my favorite children right now. I love School of Rock. I do. I just recently rewatched it with my girlfriend. She had never seen it. It's just so funny. I kind of a day go for yet, but Richard and Malcolm convinced me. It's family film. It's so a funny movie, but there are others on my list that I think are more funnier. One I had, so probably nobody bought yet, but I don't have to say no, even though it paid me to say it. It probably make my number 13 if we were making a top 20.
Christina, what would you have said about School of Rock?
I would have said no, and I actually did have it on my list as like maybe bring it up later because I love this movie and I would watch it a million times over. But I definitely think there's funnier movies. So like I'm going with like how much am I laughing during the movie?
Richard, what is the next movie you're going to bring up?
My next one I'm going to bring up. Its sequel was utter trash, but the original was absolutely hysterical. It's probably my favorite Ben Stiller movie, and it is Zoolander. Zoolander is so freaking funny. The pose off was hysterical. One look! Owen Wilson is hysterical in this. Will Ferrell is great as the villain. And I think it's probably my favorite Ben Stiller movie of the 2000s especially. So that's going to be my nomination is Zoolander. It may not get on the list or not, but I just had to throw it out there.
No. Chris.
No. It is the better Ben Stiller movie from that decade that
Meet
haven't
the
been brought
Fokker
up.
sucks. I know
No.
exactly which one.
Came out in 2000.
Christina, what do you say about Zoolander?
Yeah, I never got down with Zoolander, so that's a no for me. I'm sorry,
It's fine.
Richard. I feel like I'm not clicking with you, and
It's all good.
I want to. I really do.
Anthony, what would you have said?
Yeah, it wasn't going to make my top 12. I do enjoy the movie, and like the dialogue is funny, and all of the ad lib that they do in the movie is great. But it just wasn't going to make my top 12. Don't feel bad because no one's selected anything I've picked for the past like 5 picks. I'm just at some point going to have
I
to
only
do
got
that.
2 of mine selected so far.
I got none.
Guys, I'm 100%. Just saying.
Because apparently Sarah Silverman's funnier than Team America. It is not.
Yeah, this is one of the movies Shaun Wasserkrug told me needs to make the list, so I'm sorry, we just don't like it. I mean, I warned a bit of that like when he said it last week when I did testing on questions with him. Like I said, yeah, I don't like Zoolander. I do not know where everyone else sits on it, so I just know I'm not saying anything about it. I'm not bringing it up myself, but yeah. Anyway, it's back to me. And I'm bringing up this one now because I'm afraid if I don't bring it up, it's just going to end up being forgotten. And there'll be a crime. It was mentioned in the comments. I'm talking about 40-Year-Old Virgin. This is a movie that I think is great. It's one of the better Steve Carell movies from in the 2000s. And this is just one that I can watch so many times and still laugh hysterically at. But yeah, Chris, what do you say about 40-Year-Old Virgin?
I haven't seen it all the way through just because I got a DVD as a kid and my parents refused to let me watch it. I just never got. I think bits and pieces. I love the film, but I want to wait until I see the whole film to comment with it and the best comedy.
Christina, what do you say about the 40-Year-Old Virgin?
This is tough because I feel like this is like a teeter one for me. But I also feel like this one kind of like started all of the other movies that I like love on my list. This is tough. Why do I have to make this decision right now? I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes. Put it on there because I think that it was like the start of a lot of other movies that I really enjoyed, and I do really like this one. So I'm gonna say yes.
Anthony, what do you say about the 40-Year-Old Virgin?
All right, I'm looking at my list here, and some of the ones I have are actually good ones, not like the ones everyone's going to deny, but they're actually good. I think the 40-Year-Old Virgin is probably better than one or two of them. So, like she said, it really did start a lot of these careers. It really was great. It is one of those movies that at work people can throw on and will watch it all day. I'm going to say yes to the 40-Year-Old Virgin. I think it is better than one or two that I had sitting here on my list. So I'll go yes.
Richard, what would you have said?
Steve Carell got waxed for real for this movie. It's absolutely yes. He put himself through pain to make us laugh, so it's a hell yes. It was the top of my list. I just was making sure we're getting close out. I would have been toward the end. It was absolutely yes. Pain is the best laughter.
Chris, we go to you next.
Okay, so I've been traveling through a bunch of these. I try to make a list and then I wrote a bunch for a couple of spots, but the fact we haven't brought it up yet, the fact that it is also one of the most quotable comedy of the decade. It became a Broadway musical this decade, but Mingo. Mingo is one of the most funniest comedies of this past decade with Lindsay Lohan, Rachel McAdams, Amanda Seyfried, Tina Fey. Like, the stuff like, she doesn't even go here. To the Amanda Seyfried bizarre comment about her cousin, about whether she wants to kiss him or not, to the randomness in the movie. And Rachel McAdams in her more bizarre, like the role you don't expect to see Rachel McAdams in, but she played Regina George to Estelle and makes her very funny, very threatening, and one of the best villains of all time. It's quotable. It's one of the better coming of age movies of that decade, and it's the best. The last time we had a good Lindsay Lohan performance at then she went to Crap Reactor.
Christina, what do you say about Mean Girls?
Okay, one, I freaking love this movie. This movie is fantastic. Okay, it's still going to be a no for me, only because I feel like I don't laugh that much. Like, I love this movie. I love this movie. I was on the elliptical for an hour and a half watching this movie because it was on at my gym and I didn't want to stop watching it, and my legs hurt for 4 days after that. That's how much I love this movie. And it's so quotable, but I just don't, as far as comedy goes, I feel like there's other movies I just laugh at more. So I'm going laughability. So I'm going to say no, but it's a fantastic pick.
Anthony, what do you say about Mean Girls?
I'm also sadly going to say no because, like she said, I do also love this movie. It cracks me up every time I watch it, but not as much as some of these other ones. There are parts that I think are hilarious moments of the movie. But like a lot of people said with School of Rock, there are also parts that kind of are man, she's really learning something here. She's learning to be a friend. They're all learning to be better people. So it's kind of, you got that heart in the movie too, and it's not just a straight comedy. So I would say no to it just due to the simple fact of it. There's other movies I laugh at more in comparison. But like she said, great movie. It really is gold.
Yeah.
It's good.
Richard, what do you say about Mean
Here's
Girls?
the thing that might shock people. I don't think I've seen this movie all the way through. I've seen bits and pieces of this whole. I've never seen the whole movie. I've just seen bits and pieces. So I haven't seen the whole movie. I don't know. I have to say no because I haven't seen it. I don't know how I've not seen it, but I have. I just realized I have not seen it.
Ending's kind of whack though. So
Yeah, it's a little rough.
Yeah, this is one that I love. I really love Mean Girls. I'm with Anthony and Christina on this, but it's just one that I do have to say no as well. I don't think the comedy itself comes out as well as it does for other people, but it's a good movie. Yeah,
But between this and one other Lindsay Lohan comedy that I do like, and that went with the better one.
But yeah, Christina, what is the next movie you're going to bring up?
I don't know because I'm trying to decide if I want to go for like the votes or if I want to go with my heart. I'm going to go with my heart.
Go with your heart. Always go with your heart.
I'm going to go with my heart, and I don't think anybody's going to like this movie, but I'm going to go with my heart. I love this movie. My roommate and I, again in college, watched this all the time, and I just love Seth Rogen, and it's Zach and Miri Make a Porno. And
Good movie.
this movie is so raunchy and so gross. And who wanted to be what's his name? Who wants to be Oprah Rich? Robinson's last name?
Craig Robinson.
Craig Robinson. Okay, he wants to be
So
Oprah Rich, and they like film everything in like a Starbucks after work. And then Elizabeth Banks and Seth Rogen fall in love. But I don't know. I'm not expecting a lot of votes, but this one came from the heart. I love this movie.
Anthony, what do you say about Zack and Miri Make a Porno?
I do enjoy this movie. I'm going to say no, just because I feel like there are better movies that made me laugh more. But I really do enjoy this movie. I think it is funny. It has a great cast and everything. But overall, there's just some out there that are better than I believe the Zack and Miri.
I had to throw it out there.
I mean, I'll watch it with you later if you want.
Okay.
Richard,
I really do love this movie. I didn't have it on my list because I didn't think no one would bring it up. I mean, I love that Justin Long is so funny in this. Seth Rogen is funny in this. Elizabeth Banks is funny in this. Craig Robinson's funny in this. Jason Mewes is. I gotta say yes. It's like there is such a great cast.
It's a good cast.
It's a great fucking cast. Justin Long just makes this movie. I mean, yeah, I'm saying yes. I didn't think it would make it on here, but yeah, I think yes.
So at the moment we've got 1 yes, 1 no.
Yeah.
I'm going to say no, just because I think there's a better Kevin Smith movie in this decade, which I should be here instead, which means it's going to be all come down to Chris.
It pained me. I love this movie. Thank you for bringing this up. I do love this movie, Deb. But I had to say, there are a few other comedy I would put about this, but it made my honorable mention. I love this movie to death. I love Elizabeth Banks in it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I love it in there. I love Seth Rogen. I actually liked it better than one other Seth Rogen movie. I wouldn't be surprised somebody being up that don't like that much.
I had to go with my heart on that one.
You're doing that for a while now.
We go back to you.
All right, I'm actually going to pick one I feel like might get some votes. And if it doesn't, I'm going to be a little surprised. This movie, now, it was an earlier, I think, Will Ferrell one, but we didn't go absolutely full Will Ferrell, only a little bit. But, I mean, you're my boy, Blue. How is Old School not been brought up yet? Old School was a fantastic, great movie with a fantastic cast. I mean, it really did bring, like, Will Ferrell's been around. I feel like Old School was kind of like the earlier Will Ferrell where everyone's now like, this guy's hilarious. And Vince Vaughn was fantastic in it. It had everything you want. Just all of the people that were trying to be part of the fraternity were hilarious. I feel like Old School needs to be brought up. I'm hoping I at least get one vote this time because it's a great movie. So we'll see what happens. But Old School at least needs to be said in the top 12.
Richard, what do you say about Old School?
Oh, I do like Old School. I kind of forgot about this movie. I haven't seen this movie in forever, but I did like it at the time. Yeah, I'm gonna say yes. Even though I like National Lampoon and Animal House better, I do appreciate Old School. It's very unique. I love You're My Boy Blue, and it's a yes for me. I enjoy it.
I completely forgot about Old School. I didn't write it down on my list. I do not know why I forgot it. I love Old School. I'm saying yes to Old School. Chris, what do you say about Old School?
I am struggling here because it in my list, and then there's just one other movie that I wanted to get made into this list. I think haven't been brought up yet. It pained me to say that they had to say no because I think they wanted to comedy were put above it. I love Old School to death. I think just some rewatchability alone. Yeah.
Which means it's all down to Christina.
I thought it has 3 yeses already.
I thought we just need 2. I said yes, and you said yes.
Yeah. I mean, I would have said no, but it only has 3 yeses, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So for some reason I thought Richard had said no.
I know. I said yes.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
They have 3 yeses.
Come on, Malcolm, give me one at least. Come on.
Old School makes
We're down to 3.
All right, come on, Richard. I want to say yes. Give me something I want to say yes to.
Yeah, it's the only one I can. It's the only one that has to be on this list,
More, right?
in my opinion. It's my favorite one. It's not. Well, yeah, it still is my favorite Kevin Smith film. It's Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back. It's just so fantastic. The cameos in this movie galore. It is so quotable. It is super funny. And it led to one of the best sequels that we've recently got in Jay and Silent Bob's reboot.
Is it so?
Yes, it's fantastic. George Carlin was great in this. Matt Damon, Ben Affleck were great. Jason Mewes, Kevin Smith was fantastic. Shannon was great. I'm Jay and Silent Bob. Please say yes. This was one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, when it comes to the viewer skew verse, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back is really high on my list. My number one movie from this franchise just misses out of the 2000s, and because I love Dogma is my number one.
Yeah, Dogma would absolutely would have been a choice too. I agree.
But yeah, so I don't have a problem saying yes to Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Chris, what do you say about Jay and Silent Bob?
Considering we down to our last 3 here, I kind of had to say no because they wanted to comedy I would put above this.
Christina, what do you say about Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back?
I don't like any of these movies, and I'm really, really sorry, so I'm just saying no.
Anthony?
Yeah, I really wish I didn't have to be the deciding factor on this one because I absolutely love this movie. I mean, the reboot, I don't know if it was like the best sequel in the past one, but I did enjoy
one of the better sequels. I think it was the best.
I mean, it's not a lot of good ones recently, but it is better. I love Jay and Silent Bob. I think it's hilarious. I'm staring at 2 movies on my list, actually 3, that I find just slightly better, but it hurts me to not put this movie on my list because I can rewatch this a lot. But I do feel like it is one of those movies that, damn it.
Give it to him, Anthony. Give him the win.
Don't. We down to our last 2.
I know, but it's so hard because I do love this movie. I really do. And it has so many good parts and so much good quotable stuff. And I don't want to do it, but...
I'm sorry, you nominated Mean Girls, Chris. That's not even in contention.
You
You think Joe Ladden would have been after?
All right. I'm just going to... You know what? Due to the simple fact that there's Goodwill Hunting too. And he says applesauce bitch. I'm gonna say yes to James Silent Bob like that. I do like the movie. I feel like there's two I like more, but I don't know if anyone's gonna vote for him. So we're gonna say yes. That one hurt. Yeah, it's a good movie.
We're down to the last one.
One more.
We have one spot left, and it's on me.
On you.
Looking at this list, I see we've got a lot of Will Ferrells, a couple of Vince Vaughns, we've got Ben Stiller, got some Paul Rudd. There was one big comedic actor that was had a lot of good movies in the 2000s that we have not even touched on yet. There's two movies I like of his that I actually momentarily forgot when I quickly wrote down the list, but the one I'm going to bring up is Van Wilder, The Party Liaison, starring the great Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds has had a few good movies. A lot, but between to me, and I'm going to show my hand for this one. To me, it was between either this one or the rating later on. But Van Wilder was the one I chose to go with. This is a great movie. Just so many good lines. I mean, we've already talked about sort of John's show earlier when we brought up Harold and Kumar. No, that's the wrong one that I was thinking of. Calped. But yeah, Calped is in this, and he had a much more larger presence in the sequel. But Van Wilder Liaison is funny. It's hilarious. I do think it deserves to be here. Chris, what do you say about Van Wilder?
No. And I'm not a big Van Wilder fan, and that not. Did it definitely maybe also come out this decade?
Van Wilder came out in 2002.
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely. I think did, but I wouldn't call that.
Yeah.
Definitely, maybe no, that's not a comedy.
That's not. I wouldn't say
Yeah.
it's comedy,
But I think they were a better environmental movie. Okay movie. I don't think it's top 12 material. There are a few on this list. Two I probably nobody brought up yet. That should be on this list. So no.
Yeah.
Christina, what do you say about Van Wilder?
I don't. I'm a no. I don't really like this movie. I'm sorry.
Anthony?
I do like the movie, but in top 12, I probably would say no. I do actually like the different Ryan Reynolds movie a little bit more than Van Wilder. I mean, it's a great movie and it's quotable, but I mean, it has Tara Reid, so that kind of takes it down a little bit.
Richard, what would you have said about Van Wilder?
I like the movie. If you would have requested this nomination in the early 2000s, I would have said yes. But looking back now, like it's tough. I would say top 20, but not top 12. It's enjoyable.
That's fair. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Top 20, not top 12.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
Also, Brian, that's the wrong one. Brian, he's had a lot of good movies.
Yeah, Just Friends is
and not just Friends.
Just Friends.
Okay.
Oh, Just Friends. Ugh.
Chris, what is the next one you're going to bring up?
Okay.
Tara Reid, national treasure.
No, somebody mentioned earlier that Ben Stiller best for Virtual Line. No, it came out in 2000. This is probably one of my favorite Ben Stiller roles. It's very funny. It's very much not what you think, especially from one other actor, Robert De Niro. Meet the Pen. I mean, are you planning to vote me, Greg? The lie detector scene, the airport scene when he get arrested because he claimed bomb and the whole bomb discussion. It's one of the most funniest scenes. The action sequence, so like Meet the Parent is funny, and you rarely see Robert De Niro do comedy. He just still the movie, like the lie detector scene alone, the back and forth between him and Roger, the whole friend circles aspect. When you see a good comedy, very funny comedy, Meet the Parent is such a funny comedy this decade. So probably nobody brought it up yet, and it's Ben Stiller's best performance of the 2000s for comedy aspect.
Christina, what do you say about Meet the Parents?
I was in 7th grade when this movie came out, And in 7th grade, I thought this movie was freaking hilarious, and I watched it all the time. I just feel like it didn't like age well or like hold up in the same like comedic tones over time. So I'm gonna say no. But back then, I really freaking loved this movie. But I would say no.
Anthony, what do you say about Meet the Parents?
I have what I like a Ben Stiller movie a little bit better on my list still. I don't know if it's going to come up, but Meet the Parents for me never really did it because it's that, everything that could possibly go wrong for this dude goes wrong kind of situation. And sometimes for those kind of movies, it becomes too much. Like you said, Robert De Niro is hilarious in this movie. He's great. They do a good job with it. I enjoy the movie, but as a comedy, watching it a couple times, it was like, man, this guy really has the worst luck in the world, and I'm kind of done with everything that could possibly go wrong with him going wrong. I understand the pick. I definitely saw it being mentioned, but it's just not one of those movies that I really enjoyed as much as some of the other ones.
I wanted to try to get it in there since nobody.
You got to mention. I've mentioned some trash, and I get it.
Oh yeah.
And then one other, I think somebody hopefully gets mentioned if we have it picked.
Richard, what would you say about Meet the Parents?
Apparently, I'm one of the few people. I actually do not like this movie. I thought it was the least funniest thing I've ever seen. Like, Robert De Niro is okay. I was at an age where it's like, this wasn't my type of humor. So it's a no for me, just because I didn't get it personally at the time.
Yeah, I mean, I like Meet the Parents. I've got the DVDs on my shelf over there. But yeah, I mean, I would have given it a slight no just because we've got one spot left, and
I knew it was an uphill battle.
and there's definitely a couple others which haven't been mentioned, which I think deserve to be.
Yeah, there is one I surprised haven't been mentioned since we've been talking about Jason Segel.
But Christina, we go back to you.
All right, I'm down to like two of them, and I feel like one in my mind is just edging itself out more, only because I feel like I remember more quotes. First time I saw this movie, I freaking hated it. Like, I thought this was the dumbest movie ever. And then this one, I feel like just got funnier and funnier and funnier the more I watched it. And I mean, we're about to take everybody to the fucking Catalina wine mixer, and I'm throwing Step Brothers into the mix. I think this movie was such garbage the first time I saw it, and then like I don't know why I gave it another chance, and I just thought it was so funny, and like it's so much funnier every time I watch it. And that's probably my sister. This is the only movie she can quote ever, so maybe that's part of the reason. But I figured I'll throw it out there and see what other people think.
Anthony, what do you say about Step Brothers?
This is difficult. I mean, truthfully, the only 2000s comedy shirt that I owned was the fucking Catalina wine mixer, so I am wearing it at the moment. However, there is one movie that I have on my list that I like more than this. I really do enjoy Step Brothers. The first time, this is one of those movies that's a little different than some of the others. The first time I watched it, I absolutely despised this movie. I thought it was dumb. I thought it was overhyped, mainly because a lot of people saw it before I did. Watch it more and more. I enjoy it more and more. But there's one or two other movies in the 2000s that I enjoy more. I mean, this shirt was a necessity because it's the fucking Catalina wine mixer. That's a great part of the movie, and there's a lot of good things. However, I'm going to say no because I feel like there's one or two better movies in the 2000s that need to be mentioned.
Richard, what do you say about Step Brothers?
I have seen this movie multiple times, and I absolutely hate this movie. I think it's over the top. Like, this is my least favorite Will Ferrell movie of all time. It's the same Will Ferrell crap we've seen in 2000 movies before, but crank it up to level 20. Like, I try. There's moments I do like, but it's just too like for me. So it's a hard no for me. It's a hard no.
Yeah, this is one that
My other one.
this is one that I was slightly surprised took this long to get. But my response to this is, did we just become best friends? But yeah, this is going to be yes for me. And I'm going to put it on Chris.
I gonna have to say, I love Step Brothers. I do. It's one of my favorite referral movies, but I have to say no because we're down to the last one, and the one I'm really rooting for to get onto this list, where I think it's funnier that we've been mentioning to the actor for so long, so I don't have to say no.
Works for me.
It's a good call.
I just didn't want the world to burn down that nobody brought it up either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's like that's the one that people tend to jump on. Is like was it brought up?
Yes.
In my honorable mention, along with one other film.
When we get yelled at later.
Yeah.
I brought it up.
Anthony.
Okay. I was between two. I've been thinking about for a while. We've already named one or two of these characters in both of them, so I don't feel bad. We had Christopher Mintz-Plasse in one of them, but I believe this was the earlier one, or maybe not. I don't remember. Also,
No, it's the later one.
We have Paul Rudd in this one, and someone we haven't mentioned yet of Sean William Scott, featuring Jane Lynch, and I forgot the guy's name, but he was the funniest person in the movie. Role Models.
Yes.
Role Models came out of nowhere, I feel like, had a great cast, and was absolutely hilarious. Jane Lynch in her role was great. Obviously, doing cocaine for breakfast, doing cocaine for lunch. What'd you have for dinner? Was it cocaine? Those two just had such a great pairing together that they were funny in every single thing they did. I love Role Models. I thought it was great. It definitely needed to be mentioned. And you know what? You're white. You Ben Affleck. That's what it is.
Richard, what do you say about Role Models?
Role Models came after Superbad, but it's a fantastic film. It's a hard yes for me. I love this movie. Christopher Mintz-Plasse is hysterical. Shaun William Scott's hysterical. Paul Rudd's hysterical. Just that whole the LARPing at the end was just so freaking funny. It is a yes for me. I really hope everyone gets to say yes for this. This is a great film.
Yeah, I watched Role Models earlier in the year. It's one of the movies I'd never seen before until this year. And this is one I'm going to say no to. I thought it was fine. I just don't think it fits in the top 12. Chris, what do you say about Role Models?
Oh, well, you have to leave it down to me on this one.
It's not down to you. Christina's still got to go.
Yeah, this is tough. I love Role Model. I do. Is it between this and one other movie? I kind of have to say no because it's a great movie and it stuck me because this is in my honorable mention, high in my honorable mention. I do love this movie. It's just one other movie that number 12 I think better than this.
Which means Christina is on you.
I feel like this movie flew and probably still continues to fly under the radar. I feel like when it came, this doesn't have the buzz of Step Brothers, of Old School. I feel like everyone talked about those movies when this came out. But this movie is fantastic. It is hilarious. This is a 100% yes for me because it's so good. There's definitely, I know that there's some that we're missing, but this movie deserves to be on it. And if you have not seen it, you should definitely see this one. Because like I said, it flew under the radar, but this is a must watch. It is so freaking funny.
So good. I love their kiss costume at the end.
Steals the movie. He is so good.
So was that a yes?
That is a yes.
Yeah. Well, I just made sure. I just made sure because my camera froze and I don't. I
was like, it seems pretty adamant, but maybe okay. The camera's
mm-hmm.
Oh man,
but yeah,
should we do our honorable mention first, or should we?
Well, yeah, I was going to recap what made the list first. So what made the list is we've got Anchorman,
I'll be right back.
we've got Superbad, we've got Tropic Thunder, We got Wedding Crashers. We got Shaun of the Dead. We got Saving Silverman, also known as Evil Woman.
I love
We've got The Hangover. We've got I Love You Man. We've got The 40-Year-Old Virgin. We've got Old School. We've got Jane Silent Bob Strike Back, and we've got Role Models. Richard, did you have any honorable mentions?
I had a lot of honorable mentions. I just didn't think they were going to ever get on here. I completely forgot about Zombieland because I thought that was a 2010s film. It actually came out in 2009, so that was definitely an honorable mention. Because I would have. I had Euro Trip. I had Grandma's Boy.
Oh,
I had
nice.
Beer Fest. Not Another Teen Movie. That was my favorite parody movie.
Yes.
I had the first two Shrek films. I had Bedazzled, and I had the whole 9 yards. I like Bedazzled, but I knew it was never going to make it on the list.
I'm not gonna lie. If it got back to me, Bedazzled would have been the one I would have brought up because I love that as well.
Yeah. Same.
I just didn't think in hell it got picked.
But yeah, like for me, like as I said, I had Bedazzled on mine. I had Big Mama's House. I had Bring It On. I had Losers starring Jason Biggs.
Good one.
I had Miss Congeniality. I had Road Trip. I had Shanghai Noon. I had What Women Want. I had Whole 9 Yards. I did have American Pie 2. I was surprised none of the other American Pies got mentions. I think there's at least 2 in the 2000s.
And there was one I forgot to mention, but I'll just save it for later.
I had Legally Blonde.
Yeah, that was it.
I like Legally Blonde.
Bruce Almighty is one I'm surprised.
Made it on my honorable mention.
And I also had Juno, and I'm pissed at myself that I actually completely forgot Zombieland.
I forgot Zombieland. I thought that was a 2010 film. That's why I didn't have it on my list. And then I re-looked at it. It's 2009. I'm like, damn it.
Chris, what honorable mentions did you have?
Well, I got a bunch. Besides the one that already been mentioned, the Simpson movie. That's a really funny movie. Talladega Night, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby, really funny. Forgetting Sam Marshall, that's probably nobody brought up.
Yeah,
That was in between that and Role Models. Those were my two.
yeah. I was in between that and Step Brothers.
Rat Race, I think, is a guilty pleasure movie. Bad Santa, that's probably nobody brought up. Hot Fuzz, Nickelback Infinite Playlist, 500 Days of Summer. I get Knock Up. I'm not the biggest fan, but I know people like Knock Up. The Proposal is actually pretty funny.
It is.
It's a lot. It was hard to make lists.
This was tough.
Yeah.
Christina, what did you have on your honorable mentions?
I had a couple that Chris had knocked up, forgetting Sarah Marshall. I'm a big Seth Rogen fan, so I put Pineapple Express. And then two of my guilty pleasures are White Chicks and the Hot Chicks starring Rob Schneider.
Anthony, did you have any honorable mentions?
Yeah, I had a few. Knocked Up, forgetting Sarah Marshall was on there. We just Pineapple Express. We talked about Waiting a little bit. I had that on there. I thought that was good. I mean, Super Troopers created Waiting. That's the restaurant they used with shenanigans. There's all the goofy shit on the wall. The other two I really was looking at Dodgeball. Throwing that in there possibly.
I forgot about Dodgeball. It made my honorable mention.
And then Grandma's Boy, which I know is not a good movie, but
I had that on my list too. It was good. I love it.
And then Christine,
How can you?
What?
Your guilty pleasure, Little Nicky?
Oh, I forgot that. Yeah, but I wasn't going to admit that.
Actually, all the
guilty pleasure. I was expecting Little Nicky to come up.
all the Anna Stanley movie that could have been my honorable mention probably with 50th Date on my honorable mention.
That's cute.
I mean, what our mentions shows, there's a lot of good comedies in 2000s.
There were so many.
Roll.
Because I know certain Full Metal Geek commissioner RJ is going to be disappointed Dodgeball didn't make this list.
I really surprised Bad Santa didn't make anybody's list.
Which one? Oh,
Bad Santa.
Yeah, I looked at it and I was like, oh, it's a good movie.
I'm not a fan of Bad Santa. And also, Stephen, get out of here with that hot take.
That is.
Even Almighty is good, but Bruce Almighty is the better one.
In fact, 1 and 2 did make my list, honorable mention list.
Literally, so many movies that could be on this list.
But yeah,
here comes the worst part.
But yeah, here comes the part which is going to be interesting. We're going to vote. which position each movie should be. So we go right on the board what we want to be at number 12. And the one with the most votes will get there.
They had to get it out my way since I've never seen it.
Alright, Richard, what do you have?
I picked Saving Silverman as my number 12.
Anthony, what do you have for 12?
I actually went 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Christina,
Jay and Silent Bob.
Chris,
Steven Silverman.
No! Come on.
I haven't seen it. I had to get rid of it.
See the movie.
which means as much as I hate to see it, Saber Silverman will be last, but I'd super bad for me.
Oh,
Yeah, you know what? I'll
oh.
take an hour and a half break. We'll come back in an hour and a half. You watch Saving Silverman and then tell me if it's your number 12. We'll go with that.
Over super bad and Jay and Silent Bomb. No. Okay.
Dude. Yeah, I guess that. I love how you have Evil Woman on there too. It just makes me like laugh.
Well, I mean, I put that in brackets because I don't know what other countries that may have that other title. So I thought, well, at least they know what it is.
It's a worldwide phenomenon.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like the movie Bad Neighbors. The Neighbors was renamed Bad Neighbors over here because they were worried that people would confuse it with the TV show of the same name from Australia.
Come hit the new 2000s movie, Evil Woman.
Yeah, really. It's appropriately named.
It really
Yeah, I mean, that's one that I don't know. This is one that I don't know why they renamed this one, but yeah. But I've still got super bad. Chris, what do you have for 11?
I sorry, Jay and Silent Bob, that you had to go.
Christina,
Jay and Silent Bob.
Anthony,
I don't know why I keep erasing and rewriting, but 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Richard,
I had the Hangover.
but Dan Silent Bob Strike Back is going to be 11.
That's understandable. I was between the two.
I agree with Movie Man. He had a couple other choices.
No. Why did I erase my board?
Yeah, I do that too all the time.
Okay. Looking through the list right now. Oh, God.
There's some good movies in here. I gotta
There's a
rewatch.
lot of good movies on here. Just going with the one I haven't seen all the way through.
I'm rewatching Saving Silverman later. Probably tomorrow. I think that's happening.
Can't wait to be a part of that.
Yeah, I know you can't.
But Chris, what do you have for 10?
I kind of had to go with the 40-year-old virgin.
Christina,
Anchorman.
Ooh.
Anthony,
I actually didn't erase it this time. 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Richard.
I have the Hangover.
I've still got super bad, but the 40-year-old virgin, as sad as it sounds, is going to be 10.
Stop trying to get rid of Superbad.
And again.
Okay, which one of my favorite children should I get rid of? Sorry, this movie, but since I only seen it once or twice, I had to do it.
Christina, what do you have for 9?
Anchorman.
Anthony,
Ditto. Anchorman.
Richard,
Still with the Hangover.
still super bad. Chris,
Yeah, I joined old school.
Oh,
Good movie, just like which one I laugh more.
at this point, none of them are bad.
Sorry, Anchorman. Okay, let's see. Yeah,
and I know it's got a longer title, I just couldn't be bothered writing everything.
The only longer title we have is
Yeah, what?
I Love You Man is the longest title.
No, I mean, Anchorman will be the longest title. Anchorman,
Yeah.
The Legend of the One Birdie, is pretty long.
Mhm.
But Anthony, what do you have for 8?
I want the Hangover for now.
Richard,
I actually switched my hand. I went to old school.
I've still got Superbad. Chris,
Oh, sure.
Christina,
Old school.
I say you're like picking my favorite children right now.
Alright, so where are we? Okay, so old school's 8.
do I want to?
What's the list right now?
What we've got left, I'm not going to say the list so
Oh.
far, but we've got Superbad, Tropic Thunder, Wedding Crashers, Shaun of the Dead, The Hangover, I Love You Man, and Role Models.
See, this is where it's going to get tough after this one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
I don't know, it's pretty easy for me.
Robert, change your answer.
Exactly. Richard, what do you have for 7?
I have the Hangover.
I've still got Superbad. Chris,
Sorry, Hangover, I love you, but yeah, Hangover.
Christina,
Shaun of the Dead.
Ooh.
Anthony.
I changed the way I wrote it. Hangover. Yeah, I can erase it this time. All right. Now
Okay,
what?
down to which one to get rid of?
1, 2, 3. This hurts me so much.
It hurt me too.
I know what you wrote.
This one's gonna hurt me a lot.
See, the next two do hurt me.
But yeah, I'm going to steal a gimmick from Brooklyn. What about Superman, you hoses? Chris,
Yeah, I love Superbad, but yeah, Superbad.
Christina,
Shaun of the Dead.
Anthony,
This is painful. Shaun of the Dead.
Ooh.
I'm about to cry. Shaun of the Dead.
I love this movie. That hurts so bad.
I don't want to.
Ugh.
Might be a little bit different. We have Hot Fuzz on here, but who knows?
Honestly, if I remember Zombieland, I would have said no to Shaun of the Dead. Because Zombieland is a far superior film. Okay, but what's next? What's left?
Hold on.
Superbad, Tropic Thunder, Wedding Crashers, I Love You Man, and Role Models.
These are all solid.
Yeah.
I want to rewatch Role Models again.
We play at my work all the time.
Chris, what do you have for 5?
Superbad.
Christina,
Tropic Thunder.
Ooh.
Anthony,
I want Wedding Crashers.
Richard,
I said I love you, man.
I didn't say super bad.
Superbad.
But you didn't help me out, bro. You didn't help me out.
You think I'm picking Tropic Thunder? You should know better than that.
Superbad should be number 1 on this list.
I didn't.
That wouldn't
No.
go bad
It's
far.
one
It's
now.
a good film.
Oh, now it's fun.
I mean, if Anthony wanted to be strategic, he would have put the Tropic Thunder just to force Richard to have to choose.
You know as well as I do that wasn't going to happen.
Well, if it was between Superbad and Tropic Thunder, I would have to choose Superbad. There's no question. No offense.
I love Superman so much.
I liked it too. I loved it too. It's at a good place. It's not like it was 12 or 11 or 10 or 9.
That would have been.
Like David Silverman.
Superbad's top 5. That's solid.
All right. Thanks.
Christina, what do you have for 4?
Tropic Thunder.
Anthony.
I changed it. Crashers of Weddings.
Richard.
I said I love you, man.
I said Tropic Thunder. Chris.
I said Wedding Crasher.
Oh,
Oh, it's a tie.
So, Richard, Wedding Crashers or Tropic Thunder at 4?
Oh, no. I think Wedding Crashers deserves to be a 4. Sorry. Wedding Crashers. I'm sorry.
Do you guys realize that you were going to put I Love You Man or Role Models in the top 3?
those are great movies.
Yeah, they really are.
I think they do realise that's what's going to happen. That's why they're doing it.
So we down to
Tropic Thunder, I Love You Man, and Role Models.
I just getting it out of the way.
I'm not happy Superbad's not in the top 3 either. Well, there's nothing I can do now.
We're Wedding Crashers.
I like
Wedding
the
Crasher.
more I think about it, the more I like the other ones more.
I'm not happy Anchorman's in the top 5, so we
You just realized, was Hot Rod in 2000?
no one's getting what they want.
Hot Rod was, I think.
I mean, it probably wouldn't make the list anyway, but I love that movie too.
Anthony, what do you have for 3?
I Love You, Man.
Richard,
I love you, man.
Tropic Thunder. Chris,
I love you, man.
Christina,
Tropic Thunder. There's no way Tropic Thunder is the funniest movie of the 2000s. You guys suck. You suck.
How many of these other comedies has an Oscar nom?
which means
Jay.
which means instead of putting you're writing down your number 2, you're going to write down your number 1.
Yeah, my number 1 is easy.
I can't believe I'm doing this, but there's no way I'm letting the other one be number 1.
Yes. Do it, Malcolm. Do it.
I love the other one, but this is way too easy.
Chris, what is your number 1?
Probably the one I think Beth and they quote to me, "Fuck you, Miss Daisy." Role model.
Christina.
My number 1 is Super Bad. For this argument, I'll go with Role Models.
Anthony.
I mean, it was my first pick. It's Tropic Thunder.
Richard.
I love Tropic Thunder, but Role Models is way better.
I mean, Anchorman is my number 1, but for this argument, I'm not letting Tropic Thunder be number 1, even though it was...
To be fair, Anchorman was also my number 1.
I thought you were going to do it, Malcolm.
Yeah, Anchorman was my number 1 as well.
Anchorman was my number 1, but that got hit.
No, I mean, as I said, I'm not a big fan of either of those movies, but I hate Tropic Thunder more, which is why I've been trying to get it lower.
Oh,
You should have stopped saying super bad. That was your main favorite. Like super bad.
I mean, even if I voted Tropic Thunder really low on it, still wouldn't have worked until.
Yeah.
I would have backed you up, Malcolm, to save Super Bad.
I probably would have had that like top 1 or 2.
But anyway, just to recap our top 12. At number 12, we've got Saving Silverman, Evil. At 11, we've got Jane Silent Bob Right Back. At 10, we got 40-Year-Old Virgin. At 9, we got Anchorman. At 8, we got Old School. At 7, we got The Hangover. At 6, we got Shaun of the Dead. At 5, we got Superbad.
That's all.
At 4, we got Wedding Crashers. At 3, we got I Love You Man. At 2, we got Tropic Thunder. And our number 1 is Role Models.
Man, that was the last one that made it. That's impressive. Last one to make it on the list.
But yeah, that's the list. It's interesting. I'll have a poll up in a little bit with the topics that you can pick on to vote to be what next week's topic will be. But Chris, where can people find you online?
You can find me on any of the group. I do be doing some matches soon. I actually got a match tomorrow for Nerdgasm at the TMG. So look forward to that being on YouTube sometime soon, and I look forward to doing this again sometime soon.
Christina, where can people find you online?
Occasionally Malcolm lets me come on this show. Tomorrow night I have a match on FPTL. Peggy and I are teaming up for Team Girl Power. And I think later on another weekend, Anthony and I are then going to host another quote show again on FPTL. So look out for whenever we decide to do that, it'll be on Facebook.
Anthony, where can people find you online?
Also, all the stuff she said. Malcolm, you let me on here a pretty good amount. I appreciate it. This is fun. Every now and then I get a chance to do some Full Metal or whatever. But hopefully your wheel tonight lets me play again because I'm out of timeout. And like she said, I don't know, some weekend I still have about 250 quotes because I spent a week and a half just going through random obscure quotes from movies. So I have lots left. So Tony will probably want to take a break one weekend and let us do that again. Other than that, that's about it. I don't really have any things.
Richard, where can people find you online?
You can find me on Facebook under Richard Schwartz. You can find me on YouTube and Twitter under External Void. You can find me in Full Metal Multiplex doing some trivia stuff. And you can also find me stuck in my house in Los Angeles because, quarantine life. Hey.
And yeah, you can find me over on Full Metal hosting Full Metal Classic and Full Metal Random. I'll shortly after I do the poll, I'll be on the Full Metal page doing the draw for Classic. And this week's Full Metal Random will be a Rocky match featuring Caleb Coho taking on Cody Newberry, taking on Antonio Chavez.
Ooh.
It's bound to be a really loud match, especially with Coho there with his blue hair. But yeah, you can also find me over here hosting Late Night Take 3. This week's topic, I think I might move away from doing picking a TV show, just doing that because there really isn't a lot else happening. I might actually do Disney. But you can also you can also find me doing Magnum next week. Whatever it'll be, whatever the topic will be. I've got some very fun topics on this list this time. But yeah, until next week, keep listening, shit.
Yeah.